Hi guys! Before I proceed, please like this video and turn on your notifications to receive updates whenever we make a post. Thank you! Let's talk about the ongoing G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where world leaders have gathered to discuss global challenges like hunger, poverty, and sustainable development. But oh boy, did President Tinubu take an unexpected route during his speech.
I am from Nigeria. It's better to give you the true picture of what's going on. In Africa, we have terrorism challenges, insecurity challenges that are preventing farmers to even go to their farm. We have problems in Sudan, displacing people. We have problem of climate change, flooding, destroying crops. And we have problem of protectionism. We have problems. It is very important to make it clear and louder here. We have problem of out of school children. We have problem of funding free education or giving our children 1 meal a day in a classroom to even make them pay attention to school. Africa has that problem. What do I do to help the small-scale industry? The cost of funding is expensive. What do I do to get power to industrialize my country? The cost of funding is extremely expensive. The developed world need to extend these promises that you have heard here today. I must salute every one of you. But support the continent. The neglect of Africa is a danger to the rest of humanity. And we have to lift one another up. We have to build an inclusive economy that takes into account the population growth. In Nigeria, I have over 250 million souls. The fight against hunger and poverty is not a matter of choice, but a matter of priority for me. Where do I get those helps? I have a very vibrant youth population, 70% below the age of 30. In schools, set up funding for their education. It's a challenge. And even if I have the fund, how do I turn it around? Reform, yes, I must. And I've embarked upon that aggressively.
In front of leaders representing the world's largest economies, President Tinubu endorsed a global initiative to fight hunger and poverty, proposed UN Security Council reforms, and highlighted the need for global tax reforms to bridge the divide between rich and poor nations. He even emphasized Nigerians' willingness to represent Africa on the global stage. Admirable goals, no doubt. But here is where it gets dicey. Is this really the time to focus on global reforms when the country is grappling with crippling economic challenges, record-breaking inflations, and basic infrastructure issues? Meanwhile, reports swell of luxurious jets billion naira renovations and other excesses at home. Shouldn't charity start at home? Yes, every country has its challenges, but the key question remains, what's been done with the resources we already have? Nigeria has the wealth and talent to thrive, yet here we are. The world doesn't gather to hear complaints, they gather to hear solutions. Another one. Now let's dive into one of the most talked about stories making headlines. Simon Ekpa, the finished Nigerian separatist leader at the forefront of the Biafran independence movement, is in hot water and it's boiling over. Ekpa, often called the prime minister of the so-called Biafran Republic government in exile, was arrested in Finland on charges of inciting terrorism. Finnish authorities accused him of promoting violence in southern Nigeria via his social media platforms, targeting civilians and officials alike. The authorities also rounded up 4 others for allegedly financing his activities. Talk about serious crackdown. But here is the twist. Simon Ekpa has been firm in denying any connection to the indigenous people of Biafra. He insists he isn't their leader, despite heavy speculation. Why the denial? Analysts believe it could be his way of distancing himself from hip-hop's legal troubles and attempting to bolster his role as a figurehead for an independent Biafran government based abroad. Intriguing strategy. Well, Simon Ekpa will soon be extradited to Nigeria to face charges tied to the violence and unrest allegedly fueled by his calls for action. If this is true, this would mark a monumental development in the Nigerian government's battle against separatist movements. Another one. Well, it looks like Nigerian police is proposing body cameras for their officers. I just hope it's not true, Sha. Watch the video.
I understand perfectly. The police is trying to make that effort, and you can't blame citizens. It's a consequence of experience. Perhaps citizens are now reporting the police online to be proactive, so that if they have to adjudicate, it's justiciable. And the measure the police has put in place through this unit that you've created sounds to me more like reactive than proactive. What do I mean? In other climes, we have policemen wearing body cam so that they have their own evidence. It's police thinking in that direction, because we know during the End Bad Governance protest, the IGP had promised body cam because it protects the police as well as the citizens. So we have evidence of what happened, at least from the authorities' end. But we don't know what played out. So is the police proactively thinking of body cam rather than waiting for complaints to come, so that the policeman who is wearing the body cam will know that my actions have consequence?
Geoffrey, the address delivered by the IGP concerning this matter is not that we are being reactive. These platforms have been there before now. Even before we are talking the issue of body cam or no body cam. It is not that we have been so lackadaisical about this before. The platform, PCV, CRU had been there. To the extent that the CRU was even incorporated in the Nigerian Police Act 2020. Section 131 of that act is talking of complaint response unit and what the police must do. So it's a legal thing. The law is compelling the police to do certain things, and this is what the IGP has done, that CRU must be established in non-state commands, 37 commands of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory. So it is not that we are being reactive. This has been wrong. We're only trying to remind ourselves of the system we have and how we can make use of the system. Then the issue of body cam, is a matter of fiscal budget, and the IGP has taken this up with the government, and I'm sure they are deliberating on this with the Ministry of Police Affairs. So very, very soon this this procurement will be done, and I can say police officers in Nigeria will be wearing body cams. You know, the number of the police is large. You are talking about
on you so that you can exhibit it for all of us, because we're all working together to make a better society. I know you're busy, so let's allow you go for your meetings. Thank you so much for
when I wear my body cam, I'll come and monitor the traffic from
Body cameras will be good though. It will stop all these their mini crimes they used to commit. Anyways, let me not talk too much before I will now talk the one I'm not supposed to talk.